Hey there, Kevin. This is just the quick demo I wanted to put together for you to show you how you could execute that playbook that you had sent. Email, call, LinkedIn, call, email follow up. That is. So it's really simple. And as I mentioned, so we don't provide phone direct dials or phone contact information, at least not at this point. So you would need to source that data yourself. I'm not sure how rapid your outbound calling is. If reaching offices directly, where those numbers are a little bit easier to find than direct dials. But I wanted to mention that. I'm also going to share a different Loom with you, which demonstrates a pretty simple and straightforward playbook that we use internally, but we generally share with all of our customers because it combines LinkedIn with email, and it really captures our overall philosophy really well, which is to use LinkedIn as the channel to reinforce the email channel, which has a little bit more flexibility in terms of what you can do with it because there are obviously more constraints around LinkedIn. But anyway, so this is a brand new sequence that I am spinning up and creating. So I'm just going to start by adding steps. So I'm not going to get into messaging or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of go through the ropes with you. So we'll start with our email. Email drawer comes out. I'm just going to select a quick template. Obviously, you can put together messaging based on your audience and what you're doing. So if you want to get into that more, happy to. But for right now, I'm just going to keep this straightforward and simple for you. Let's capture this. Save, select. If you're doing cold outbound, just really quick, I'd recommend sending in plain text just for deliverability and not tracking clicks. We do automatically enable a opt-out link, and you can personalize that as well. I usually lean on our AI assistants to detect do not contact and opt-out requests. But you can also just add in instructions like, hey, if this is not for you, please let me know, and all that type of stuff. Let's see. Okay, so saving this, and this just this saves the email. These are personalization tags that tie back to your contact database. And again, I'm happy to elaborate on this, but we have a lot of things in here too for AI sales assistants to write your emails based on profiles of your prospects as well. So save email. That completes that step, and then we'll just kind of keep going down the line. We'll add a pause in between the email and what will be our next step, which is a call task. So I'll just say 1 day. If you have so it's not uncommon for someone to want to do multiple steps or actions at once. So, on day one or step one, send an email, place an outbound call, view LinkedIn profile. If you want to combine all of those types of things into 1 day or one action on your schedule, we have multi-touch steps. And a multi-touch step will do just that. It'll fall under this parent step, and you can add other actions, and they get separated generally by minutes, because these are things that people all want to do on 1 day. So after the email sent, maybe then 5 minutes, the call task gets created, and then 5 minutes after that, another action, depending on what your workflow is. But that's the multi-touch step. That might be helpful for you. I'll include an article for that. But again, if that's something that's interesting to you, I can definitely walk you through that too. All right, so now we have our delay of a day. So now I'm going to do the task. So this would be for calls, and I'll show you how the task flow works with our Chrome extension. But let's do outbound call, assign the task. These are default task types. You can add your own as well. Call scheduled by default, schedule for today, which is basically immediate. But if you want to have your call task scheduled out a certain number of days after someone reaches this step, you can do that. I usually do 1 day, but it all depends on the velocity that you want to hit, and that will also be based on how many folks you add into your sequence too. Available days. So these will just be the days that these tasks can be created on. So Monday through Friday, typical work week. Save step. And now we'll add another delay. Just do 1 day. And then we'll do a LinkedIn connection request. And these are also under tasks. There we go. And you can add a note if you want to. It can be personalized, much like an email with personalization tags as well. Oops. Day. And then we would just proceed from there. So another delay. And then we would add another email action. In this case, I'll just clone this one. And then you can go in after you clone it, change it about. So this is just, again, really quickly and simple how to put together the overall playbook and flow. Now I just want to show you once a task is created. So for a call, for example, you'd open up your Chrome extension, go to tasks. This is just a staging environment, so it's loaded up. Ideally, you wouldn't want to have so many overdue tasks and so many tasks sitting out there that aren't completed. But you basically on a daily basis, you'd look to see what tasks you have that are due, and then work through those. Scheduled refers to tasks that are already created, but they're just not due yet. And then done, obviously, is our tasks that you've completed. So we'll just go back to overdue. You can see there, these are all the different categories of task types. And again, these are customizable, so you can add your own task types based on whatever you need. Call is just a default task type that we have in the platform already. So you can do two things. You can go and you can execute these tasks one by one, or you can use our tasks flow. And what happens with task flow is it'll basically take you one by one through each task. You don't have to keep on clicking. And as you complete a task, it automatically takes you to the next task. And during that process, it'll also automatically open up a window with your prospect's lead forward profile in case you need that for any reference point, especially if you're doing calls. And then within the task, start. So after you complete a call or whatever the particular task might be, you can select an outcome to assign to it. Outcomes are also customizable. You can add your own outcomes, objections you can add as well, task notes. You can opt to schedule a follow-up with your prospect, enroll them in a sequence, add a tag, and the tag could be used to add a prospect into an automated workflow to execute more actions. So very, very flexible. And the tasks get included in your sequence reports as well. So you can see like how many calls you completed, meetings, whatever your task types are, and to get data on that as well. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn, let me just show you that. So our LinkedIn is semi-automated, which means you have to basically click a button and then the extension takes care of the rest. So if I just sort by, these are connection requests as an example. So all you do is on a daily basis, again, go through, hit select all for however many connection requests you're sending for that day. Keep in mind you're limited to about 100 a week with LinkedIn. And then you just click automate tasks, and a dialog, this window will actually pop out. You can minimize it if you want while it's running, but it'll go through each one, sending the connection request, and it'll alert you when it's done. But you can keep on working and doing, whatever is, part of your normal operating day within your PC or your workstation, and this will just run on autopilot in the background. But that's pretty much it. And I mean, this would be a pretty simple playbook to stand up and run. Happy to help you get it started and deploy it. But at least I hope this kind of gives you some context of what you can do, and again how quickly you can stand it up as well. So any other questions, happy to answer them. Shoot me back a message. Either you can go through our help desk and reach any of our team. I'll probably pick up the ticket because we've already been going back and forth. Or you can email me directly as well. So let me know what you think. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kevin.